This is a 69 Cougar XR7 convertible, 351 Windsor 4-barrel automatic. Being a California car, I'm surprised it does not have air conditioning, but and it don't have power windows, which most of the Cougars did. So, but it's got every other option that they had. Bucket seat console, white XR7 interior with the black accents, which is a good looking combination when it's all detailed out and cleaned up. The car is really going to look good done. First thing we're going to do is assess what all it needs and put a game plan together on how we're going to tackle it. Kind of put a dollar figure to the cost on everything so nobody's blindsided with it. And that is the first step to a successful restoration. $35,000–$40,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. We're going to pull the whole front end off of it. It's got some transmission leaks from the car setting for so many years. The thing seems to run real good, so we're just going to detail the engine compartment out. All new exhaust, all new brakes, new shocks, new tires, all the chrome trim on the outside. The interior is in pretty good shape, so I think most of it will clean up. New carpet and repaint the dash and repaint all the metal pieces on the inside. The car will look brand new. Bottom side of it, we're not going to get carried away with it. We're going to clean it up, and you know, it was an originally undercoated car, so the undercoating that's loose we're going to scrape off and clean up them spots, and then re-undercoat the whole bottom side of the car. Well, we haven't taken the numbers off of it yet, but this was a one-owner car, and it's all documented. So there's date codes on all the parts. Most of the Ford cars that you see didn't have a VIN number on the engine block or any of the parts, so typically look for the date code of all the parts to be within 2 months of the build date of the car. And if everything checks out, then you can assume that it's an original motor. Unless you have all the documentation from the original owner down, there's really no good way to verify it. Some of the Chevrolets, they had the VIN number on them. Some of the specialty Ford stuff did, the Hypo cars and the Boss 302s, and some of them had a VIN number stamped on the block and on the transmission, but they still didn't have it stamped on all the little pieces. But looking at this car, I can tell it's an old original car. I doubt if the motor's ever been out of it. For what he's wanting, we're probably just going to steam clean it real good, pull all the wiring off the engine, pull all the accessories off, belts, pulleys, all of that, and paint the engine in place and paint all the black under the hood with the engine in it. Oil leaks will determine whether we take the motor out or not. And it don't look like the timing chain cover or the oil pan or anything's leaking. If he was going for a Conquest restoration, we would. The last one we did for him, about a $50,000 restoration. The car, he sold it last year, one of the highest records paid for a Cougar convertible, and I think he got $128,000 out of it. It was a Cobra Jet convertible, and it was in worse shape than this one. I mean, it was all in pieces when we got it. The motor was gone, all the little brackets and pulleys and all the specialty stuff for the Cobra Jet stuff was gone. It took some time to find all that stuff, which this car, they're prone to rust in the front frame rails, which this one has no rust in it at all. Battery tray area usually rusts out from the battery spilling acid. Back in the day, they didn't use sealed batteries, so if they got hot or anything, they'd bubble over and acid would get down on the frame and it'd eat the frame up. But this one appears to be in really, really good shape. Mustangs, Cougars, all the Fords in this era, there'll be rusty spots up here where they rust through, where the panels are overlapped. This one has zero rust up here. The frame rails underneath the floorboards in the front, rear frame rails, floor pans. Exceptionally clean car. Boy, it's going to make a nice one. And it comes with a spare Cougar emblem. This is the trunk drop-off, so I was telling you got to really watch for. And typically this panel right here on the back side. If the quarter's rusty, they're usually rusty, but this one, these are perfect. Still has the original sound deadener in it. This car's never been touched. And I'm sure we'll probably find a build sheet under the dash somewhere or under the front carpet that'll verify all the pieces that was added to the car from the factory, all the options that they checked. Nope, no blinkers. And the door glasses are going to have to be re-glued back in. 69s are glued in and 70s are bolted in. Those are the factory solid steel wheels for a Cougar. We'll take them off and break them down, sandblast them, paint them, put all new trim on them. But just a solid old car. Tiny spot of bubbling just starting in the front of the doors, which is common. The alignment of the fenders and doors and stuff are off a little bit. We'll get all that lined out when we put it all back together.